Welcome to Giants Training Camp Central. I'm Bob Papa, the Quest Diagnostics Training Center. The Giants holding their mandatory mini camp before wrapping things up for the summer. We got a big show lined up for you. You'll hear from Giants quarterback Daniel Jones, Wink Martindale, the defensive coordinator. But to get things started, let's listen in to what Giants head coach Brian Daboll had to say to kick off minicamp.
So good to be out there. Relative to, I know you probably asked a couple Saquon questions. My position hasn't changed on that from a couple weeks ago. Every conversation that I have about Saquon will be private. So, fire away.
Brian, Saquon seems frustrated that he feels like details of the negotiations were leaked and were misleading. Is that a concern on your end that he feels that way about negotiations that are supposed to be private?
Yeah, everything that I have to say about Saquon will remain private.
Is everybody here?
Everybody except Saquon, but he didn't sign his tag yet.
Do you plan to have, like, when you make your plans for the future, like, you know, for the season, are you planning as if he's going to be there?
I'm just planning for today.
What?
I'm just planning for today. Have a good practice.
Well, you obviously have to do roster construction. No?
Yeah, I'm just worried about today right now, Jordan.
Because he's so important to the team, can something like that become a distraction eventually, from your experience as a coach?
I'm just focused on today, Pat.
Dave, you mentioned that this is a continuation of the teaching, but at this point, are you looking for maybe more execution, alignment, or what are you looking for exactly?
Yeah, so we're adding some more things today. We'll do some more, team periods, but with our helmets off. We'll do some short yardage, some goal line, introduce some more things, keep increasing the installation, and then go out there and have some call-it periods, albeit 7-on-7, where the coordinators are just calling the plays. There's no scripts. Try to build on our communication, our fundamentals, and keep on, stacking days together.
Do you have pretty much everything installed at this point, or is there stuff you're holding back for training camp?
I'd say we have a lot. Not everything, but a lot. And today with the short yardage and goal line, it's hard to do, but we can do it, with the helmets off and make it a teaching pace. But install those things. We can do some situational football today, separate from one another, but last plays, things like that, and just kind of, we're getting close to having everything in.
Is there anything tangible that you've seen in terms of Daniel from one year to the next year during this period?
Well, I just say that he's got a much more comfort level with our offense. Again, we've added, I'd say, considerably new things these camps just to see how they look. But he's got really good give and take with Kafka, seeing how different players look in different spots. He's had a really good camp.
How different is that? How do you judge a really good, they're just out here.
Yeah, no, he's made right reads. He's had good leadership. He's communicating well. He's doing, he's good in the meetings. All the things that we ask him to do right now during this time of year, he's done a good job with.
Is there any difference for you coaching? I mean, I know you're coaching everybody here, but as far as Daniel goes, a lot of time last year was spent getting to know guys.
Sure.
Right? When you know your quarterback, I mean, you don't know him entirely, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
How much does that comfort level, from your perspective, help grow things moving forward?
Yeah, I think it's just like any relationship. Year one is you're getting to feel each other out. Year two, hopefully you can build on the things that you've, what makes him tick, what makes me tick, what frustrates me, what frustrates him, plays he likes, plays he doesn't like. I mean, it's good communication. He's a very good communicator. We have open dialogue, not just me, but him and Kafka, him and Shea. He's done a nice job.
Are there any young players that you've seen come in here and you can, I know this isn't competition here, but you
Sure.
can see that they improved, and if so, how?
Yeah, well, I just say, all the young players, and this is no different than it was last year. Each day you hope to see a little bit more growth from them, whether it's, where to line up, how to line up, the communication factor. It's still a work in progress for, I'd say, a lot of the young guys.
Dave, what have you learned with a spring under your belt with Waller?
He's a good pro. He's smart. Again, he's, much like Daniel, I said, he's done everything we've asked him to do. He's a good communicator. He's, played a lot of football, been productive. Again, we're still, utilizing him in different ways. We're seeing what he likes, what he feels comfortable with, what the quarterback feels comfortable with. But he's been a pleasure to be around, both in the classroom and out on the field.
Weapon-wise, though, how does he change the offense?
We'll see. We got a long way to go. Again, once we get the pads on and start doing all the things that we can do right now, it's more of a passing camp per se. But hopefully we can figure out a way to use them best.
Given that it's more of a passing camp, do you feel like a player like Darren is someone who you can assess more accurately than maybe like a defensive tackle or an offensive lineman this time of year?
Yeah, those guys do pretty much individual, so they don't get a lot of good on good work, and that's just based on rules and things like that. Obviously, we have no pads on. We're trying to do the right thing there, but again, it's his first year in our system. He's still learning things. He's smart. He's picking them up, but we got a long way to go.
What do you feel of the group that you're working with now that you're back for a second year?
Yeah, no, excited. It's a good day to be out here. These guys have worked really hard. They all understand what it is. It's passing camp per se, and we're just trying to get better day by day.
At any point, will you encourage Daniel, in a couple of days you guys break, to put it away for a while? Is that important for him?
Yeah, I've said this before. It's hard for him to do. So I think he's been in the league long enough. He has a routine that over the next, call it month, that he's used to, and I have a lot of trust that he'll be ready to go.
There was obviously a priority this offseason in adding speed and explosiveness, especially the wide receiver position. When you looked at that group this spring, what have you seen?
Yeah, a lot of new guys. We're still trying to figure things out. We've moved guys around. We've shuffled them in and out. Obviously, there's some faster guys that we have out here, but we're still working through that.
Right. By still trying to figure things out.
Yeah.
Like where guys.
Yeah. No.
Their position.
Yeah, we've moved them around a bunch, and this is what I think this time of year is for. It's like, I know we're not doing a bunch of teamwork, but Bobby shuffled, offensive linemen in and out to different spots, guard to center, center to guard, guard to tackle. This is the time to do it, to give them a little bit of a foundation, because come July 25th or somewhere around there, it's we're going to get going here, and there's not a lot of time for mistakes.
Brian, I think this kind of piggybacks on what Jordan asked, but you have all these new players, Waller and some new wide receivers. Is there a balance between trying to stick with what you did well last year and try to implement some of these newer guys do?
Yeah, that's a good question. Each year it's so different because you roughly have 30 to call it 40% new players. So your job as a coach is to go out there, experiment with some stuff. Obviously you have a baseline of a system, but just because one play looked good one year really has nothing to do with the next year. So like I said, we got a long way to go, working through some things, and the guys have been working really hard, and that's getting ready to go for training camp.
Giants have certainly got a lot of good work in the offseason, and as Coach Daboll said, we'll see you in training camp. We'll be back here on MSG for Giants Training Camp Central when training camp gets underway. When we come back, going into his second year as the defensive coordinator, Wink Martindale. He's up next here on Giants Training Camp Central. Welcome back to Giants Training Camp Central. The Giants were really good in 2022 when it came to red zone defense and third down defense. But the Giants have added a lot of pieces on the defensive side of the ball, including Deonte Banks, their first-round draft pick, who plays corner out of the University of Maryland. You know who's excited about that? Wink Martindale and this defense going into year 2 of his system.
It's always fun when you have this press conference because it's spring and we're getting ready to go. So with that, I'll open up with questions.
We saw your reaction to the Deonte Banks pick. Looked pretty excited. Just talk about what you like about him and how important is it to have a cornerback like him in your defense? Well,
I think it's important to have a cornerback like that in anybody's defense. He's very instinctive. What's Ted Lasso say? He lives life like a goldfish. He's got a short memory when things don't go right. So he's tough-minded. He's physical. He can tackle, and on top of that, he can run. So we're excited about it. He's getting into the groove. There's still some rookie mistakes, which you expect that, especially this early. But we're really excited, and I was obviously really excited that we got him. It was like winning a scratch-off ticket.
Is Joe Shane still have some marks on his back from?
I hope so.
How much is the addition of Banks and the other guys that you brought in on the secondary going to help with that pass rush and getting home more so?
Yeah, I think that you know, you have to look at it the whole picture. You know, people, you know, the quarterbacks get rid of the ball against us faster than most teams they play, and you know, like I said before, we face more max protection than anybody else in the league. That's a fact through PFF. So, you know, I think if you just limit it to just pass rush and sacking the quarterback, you're not looking at it the right way that I believe anyway. It might be the right way you believe, and that's fine. But we're really excited about who we have and the additions we made, and it's still in process of what Joe and Dave's have done with the roster. We're still building on that.
Why do you think that is, that you face the most max protection?
Because we know
that's the way teams approach you.
Because we know how to hit the quarterback, Jordan. I mean, they know it. I mean, it's not like I'm being boastful either. They just know that we know how to defeat protections, and if you ask any offensive coach in the league, they'll tell you that.
If I could just clarify though what I was asking.
No worries.
You had speed in the back end, so having guys that can keep up with the coverage, playing man, I mean, does that help the pass rush, even if it's just getting back off the mark? Yeah, sure it does. Yeah, it does. With the additions we have, the D-line, and you know, with Bobby, you know, inside linebacker. So that's all going to help. You know, now it's just keep everybody healthy and let's keep going.
What are you most excited about? You mentioned Bobby, just being able to use him and kind of what you see in him.
Which Bobby?
Bobby,
okay. Oh, you know how to say his last name. I like it. All right. I mean, it's fun to watch him play, you know, because of his size, his strength. But, you know, most of all, he's a good guy, and you know, he's a really intelligent kid that knows football, and it's not hard to talk football with him. So all those things have been great, and we just got to get ready to take the next step, which for me is vacation.
Wink, when you look at Banks, I mean, the possibility is high that he'll be your outside corner starter week one.
Sure.
You know, how aware are you of the hiccup? I know Sauce Gardner lit it up last year, but that's fairly unusual, right, for a corner as a rookie to come in and do that. I mean, what are you expecting from Banks in terms of measuring it all, the expectations versus the reality of how that usually?
The expectations is that he plays football, and like I said, you know, I brought up the Ted Lasso quote, and that's the way he is. He's a kid that's, you know, a smart kid that, you know, is grounded, and he doesn't make it bigger than what it is. And you know, I'm sure that they're going to catch a 8-yard out on him, and everybody's going to be up in arms, but that happens to every corner, so we'll be okay. I think the expectation is there to go in there and play well.
As the season's going on last year, obviously all the questions about the run defense, and you want different personnel. Maybe you're playing, you know, we asked you a lot about the snaps for Dex and everything else. When you go into an off season, obviously a concerted effort has been made to bring in guys up front. You mentioned Bobby, to improve that area.
Yeah.
As a coach, when you see those bodies out here, I know last week was really the first time they were out here together.
Right.
What's running through your mind?
I mean, you know, starting with Mr. Mara at the owners meeting said we need to get better in the run game. But I think when you look at the season overall, take a deep breath and look at it, our main focus, you know, going into it, you know, with our roster and the players that we had was we were going to attack this season. And I said there's two things I want to be sure, is that we're great in the red zone and we're great on third down. And, you know, I thought that we, you know, did that and accomplished that goal. The other things will continue as we keep building, you know, through the program, and I think that we're definitely headed in the right direction with that.
When you talk about the edge rush, the outside linebackers, you know, last year they had some injury issues. Aziz missed time, Ellerson Smith missed time. Did you learn enough about them? You really didn't make any changes in the personnel there. What do you like about them, and what growth have you seen?
You know, I'm really happy with that room and where they're going, led by Kayvon. You know, got Hottie back, which I was happy about, and you know, I told the whole defense, wherever I'm at, Hottie will have a job. If he's done playing, he can hang out with me as a coach. But I really like that room. I like its personality. Drew Wilkins does a great job with them. They're leaders in their own right, and you know, like I just think that if you've seen Z's and around him all the time. You can see that that's the best way I could describe it is a lot more sturdy this year, and we'll see how that translates because it's a crazy league, but we'll see how that translates.
Wink, when you look at the inside linebacker spot next to Bobby, do you think Beavers could maybe wind up being a starter there because he had an intriguing
possibly.
camp. Yeah, how do you view Beavers in that other spot?
No, we'll see because it's all a competition right now. With he and JD and I tell you, Mike has really improved. Did you have one?
I did.
Go ahead.
What do the additions on the defensive line of free agency mean for your pass rush?
I think that with the size of them, and you've seen them, they'll be able to collapse the quarter. Collapse. Everybody thinks when they think pass rush is the tackles guys. The inside guys. That what you're talking about, Pat?
Yeah.
They think of Warren Sapp and Aaron Donald. There's God touched those guys twice. All right, and these guys just been touched once. So just as long as they can collapse a pocket, just like Dex did last year, and get the quarterback off the spot, you'll see a lot of good things happen. And I think we got the size and the ability to do that.
The Giants have certainly gotten stronger on the interior. The addition of Bobby Okereke as far as free agency will certainly help this defense, especially against the run. When we come back, we'll hear from some of the Giants players with minicamp underway, including Daniel Jones. That and more here on Giants Training Camp Central. Welcome back to Giants Camp Central. The Giants with a 2-day mandatory minicamp. Let's listen in to what the players had to say, starting with quarterback Daniel Jones.
How do you judge at this point of the year for yourself? Like, what are you looking to get out of it? Obviously, there's not a whole heck of a lot of real intense competition.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's valuable time to get on the same page with a lot of these guys, and especially the guys who haven't been here and are learning the system. So I think all that stuff's important: building timing, building chemistry, building our communication, learning how we're going to communicate with each other. I think there's a lot of things you can get, and overall, I think we've had a pretty good spring.
What do you think of your group of receivers? Do you see a lot of talent out there?
I do, yeah. I think those guys have done a great job. The guys who have been around, who've made a lot of plays in the past, and the new guys we've brought in, I think, we have a wide variety of skill sets and ability, and guys who can do different things. So, yeah, it's been a lot of fun to work with. A lot of true pros in the room that come to work every day and ready to take care of business and do what we got to do to win.
Daniel, Mike Kafka said last week that you're still coming in early. Now that after your contract, you're still doing, you're not sloughing off kind of thing. After you sign the contract, did anything in your head say to you, I need to still show them this?
I think I've never really felt like I needed to show other people or whoever it is. I feel like that, doing it because I want to do it, because I enjoy doing it, and I'm trying to be as good as I can be. So, that doesn't change regardless of what the contract situation is or whatever it may be. But I think we have a lot of guys with that kind of mindset who want to come in and work hard.
Even though that this has been like a passing camp, a walkthrough type of practice space, do you sense guys are picking things up a lot quicker and you guys are functioning a lot faster than maybe you were at the start of spring?
Yeah, I do. I think, for one, a lot of guys have been around, know the system, know what we're doing, so that helps, and also helps the other guys who haven't been here learn and pick it up a little bit quicker. So, yeah, I think we're in a good spot. It feels a lot different than this time last year for sure, but guys done a really good job.
No, if you know anything about Daniel, that guy's the hardest worker, no matter what the situation is. So, I expect him to have the mentality of, I'm going to show everybody why I deserve this money, and he's always approached the game and practice, day-to-day work with the right mindset. So I'm looking forward to seeing him out there balling.
What does it mean to you that they brought you back? They didn't have to.
Yeah, it means a lot, man. This organization has been really good to me and throughout my playing career, and some of the stuff that's happened over the years. But I'm grateful and thankful, And I try to give this organization everything I got just for those reasons.
So do players notice when a guy comes in after a big contract? They notice the kind of, just like
he got that money swag. When somebody hit the lotto, they a little different. So it's the same thing.
so does Daniel have money swag?
Nah, he gonna stay the same. Like I just told you, he's gonna stay the same. Some people got that money swag.
How about Dexter? Does he have some money swag?
Dexter got a little money swag. He got a little money swag on it.
Shep, how do you look at what you're now surrounded by, particularly on offense, talent-wise, especially maybe in comparison to the last few years? It just seems like there's receivers on top of receivers on these routes.
Yeah, it's probably the biggest receiver group I've been a part of since I've been here. But that's what we wanted to bring in. We wanted to bring in competition, and some guys run from competition, some people don't. And we're going to definitely see what we have because we have a lot of guys that can play some good ball. So I love the fact that we add more playmakers. It's not just on one person to make all the plays. We got a lot of guys that can do it.
What's it like to be back out, Dexter? What do you think of the group today?
I think we look pretty good today. A couple of substitution errors on the field, but easy things to fix. You were sick on Sunday. What kind of vibe did you get from him, and how weird has this whole off-season been without him being around?
To me, he was still Saquon to me. He didn't really, I don't know, whatever he's going through, just read about it or something like that. But to me, as a person, he's still Saquon to me.
Is it weird not having him here?
Yes, of course. He's one of the leaders in the locker room, and I love him, and I respect him, and, it all's going to play out for the best, I believe.
Dex, Shep was just talking a little bit about how guys sometimes in the offseason get a contract, they come in with a little money swag. You might have a little bit. What's Daniel's money swag like?
Still coming in early morning and staying late night. Daniel's a grinder, and a guy like that, is good. He has good traits. I don't even think he has swag to begin, but I see him. He just talks to y'all normal, and he's just Daniel.
Do you notice any difference at all?
He's vocal, a little more vocal. That's pretty much all I can like. He's still a great leader. I just say he's a little more vocal and demand things.
How exciting is it to be back in the year working under Wink and just how much this defense can grow under him?
I'm excited to have this second year with Wink. That's my guy. It's good to continue to not change it up again, but to just grow, and everybody's more comfortable out here in OTAs. Last year, it was but now everybody knows what to call, when to call it, and it's looking fluent.
Dex, going back to the money, so you said Daniel doesn't have the swag. It sounds like you do, according to your teammates. What does that swag look like, and how does it change with money, if at all?
I've always had swag. You gotta worry about that. I'm gonna say, I think I'm the same guy. Goofy, genuine, caring. I think that's just who I am. I guess I got a little more money now, so I guess I'm more noticeable. But I don't know. I think I've always been the same. Maybe I got I dress a little better, maybe. But I don't know.
Well, that wraps it up for the show. As everybody's referred to, training camp opens on July the 26th. And of course, once again, MSG is your home for everything New York Football Giants. We'll have Giants Training Camp Central, plus Giants Access Blue, and any latest breaking news, it's right here on MSG. For our entire crew, I'm Bob Papa. Thanks for joining us for Giants Camp Central.